when I see black folks who are just superficially black, who
Yeah.
don't feel black in their heart, don't do black things. Like you can tell by they got the same ideals, goals, aspirations, thoughts, mores, and modalities as they white counterparts.
And how important it is to identifying, self-identifying as self, but also as a collective.
They say the more you know, the more you realize you don't know, right? But the thing is, the more you know, the better equipped you are to deal with what you don't know as well. So I think that's kind of the balance that we deal with, because no, I don't think any one person can know all there is to know, but I think one person can be trained in such a way where they can know enough to pull from and draw from in situations that they don't completely understand.
Well, when you were talking, you said self, but you also said in the collective.
Mm-hmm.
Into I want to stay there for a moment.
Okay.
I am what the old folks would call a race man. I took John Henrik Clark's words to heart. I'm doing what I do best, uh, and I always think about how I can use it to advance Black agendas because I feel my presence within this collective of Black Americans and this contingent of the Black diaspora. Mm-hmm. I think one of the most detrimental modalities, detrimental dynamics that exists in Black American society is too many of us don't feel a part of the Black collective and don't feel that there is value in leaning into that collective and working from and for that collective. So, and a way of describing it is, they say, oh, we made it, man. We don't need all that rallying and organizing. Everything's, I get anybody, you can do it on your own. We don't need all this. I just got to go to college and get a degree. I'm going to get a good job and everything's going to be Gucci. That's not the case. That's why high-income Black families don't have as much wealth as high-income white families, because we have collective issues that we're approaching individually. We're ignoring the collective problems that require a collective solution. And we're ignorant to the fact that you're only here enjoying this level of comfort and access and convenience because Black people before you felt membership in the collective, felt duty to the collective, felt an obligation to reach as they climbed. Mm-hmm. And that's why I spazzed out on that other show, because bro wouldn't even be where he was if it wasn't for the work of Black people who felt a part of a collective. And we're not going to continue to be able to thrive as easily if too many of us drop our packs and say, I don't have to work on behalf of my brother and my sister no more. There's no need for our collective work. What is that? We getting close to Kwanzaa. What's that? Ujima? Collective work? Somebody help me in the comments.
Collective work and responsibility.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a real damn thing. And it's the only reason why we're doing as well as we are right now. Mm-hmm. And it hurts me when I see Black folks who are just superficially Black, who don't feel Black in their heart, don't do Black things. Like you can tell by they got the same ideals, goals, aspirations, thoughts, mores, and modalities as they white counterparts. And it's okay to, live your life, be free. But just know that when you get into collective issues, right? When you get some of our collective issues, like being over-policed, like going to the doctor. My dad taught fifth grade for 20 years. Okay? He's got advanced degrees. He's a homeowner, a taxpayer. And do you know that when he got cancer 5 years ago, they tried to do his biopsy without the proper sedations and pain precluders. They really made my dad endure a lot more pain than he had to endure. You know why? Because there are white and white adjacent college students, doctor students, and doctors who think that black people can endure more pain than white people. They think our physiology is different, such that we can and don't need as much pain relievers. And that's the most racist and systemically racist and problematic things that comes out of uh, racist Western medicine. Why did I bring that up? To say his education didn't prevent him from getting systemic racism in the hospital. The only thing that'll get rid of that is collective work. It's black people who feel a part of a collective.
Mm-hmm.
Black people who say, I can't just worry about myself all the time. I know who I am. I know I came from greatness. I know I went through our people went through some trouble. You know, the Ma'afa. I know we went through this. I know we're recovering from this, or we're trying to. But we can't stop working on behalf of our collective. Go ahead, man.
I think identity is the, like what you're saying. Like, I think when we're talking about individual and collective, I don't think we can separate them, because I think our people face an identity crisis, because we want to identify as everything except who we are as African people. We'd rather be American this, American that, uh black versions of Europeans. We'd rather be black versions of other people. We'd rather be slaves than be Africans. We'd rather be ADOS. Like, our ancestors didn't have like a culture and an identity of their own when they were forced into those conditions. Slavery is the negation of who you are. It's not who you are. So I think what our people face is, if we can't even identify as who we are, how can we organize a collective body of our people to act on our behalf? And to me, I see that's why people have such a strong apprehension against Pan-Africanism, because Pan-Africanism is really the way that we as Black people unify. Many different groups on one common collective basis can create unification. So if people don't want to organize with other Black people, who do they want to organize with, right? They want to organize with our enemies. They want to organize with other groups of people who don't have our interests at heart. So we'll get used by the Jews and the NAACP for decades and decades and decades for them to advance themselves and their projects of citizenship, while we become the science experiments in the courtrooms in the Civil Rights Act, right? So we'll do that and partner with them over and over and over without knowing our history, because we don't want to identify as ourselves and identify with our own people. And we don't want to create institutions with our own people. We'd rather participate in institution building with other people who already have the resources to build their institutions. So when they give us resources to build our institutions, then when they pull the plug because we're doing our own thing and not their thing, then we wonder what happened and why the faucet tapped, right? So for me, that's why what attracted me to initially Malcolm X and Black nationalism was the same thing that attracted Marcus Garvey to Booker T. Washington: self-help. Like we need to get back together with our own people and organize our own people. But the problem is, not enough of us have enough confidence in ourselves or in our own people. A lot of us have a lot of excuses for why we won't, help this Black institution, or why we don't want to support this project, or we don't like this kind of music, or we don't like this kind of music, or we have And honestly, I really believe it has everything to do with religion. I think religion tells you how to relate. I think divinity tells you how to relate. When you see yourself as sacred and you see your own people as sacred, then you see yourself and your own people as capable. But if you see yourself as profane and you see your own people as profane, then why would you ever work with your own people? Why would you ever believe in yourself in being capable of doing or maximizing your own potential?